If you're over 60, there's a good chance you've heard this sentence more times than you can count. Don't eat too many eggs. They're bad for your heart. Maybe a doctor told you. Maybe it was a newspaper headline. Or maybe it was simply something everyone believed. But what if that fear, a fear that followed you for decades, was never the full truth? Tonight, let's talk about eggs. Not as a food trend, not as a fitness fad, but as a story. Your story. Because for millions of seniors across the US and UK, eggs became something to fear, not enjoy. And that fear has a history. Picture this. It's the late 1970s. Television doctors are serious, almost stern. Newspapers warn about cholesterol like it's a ticking time bomb. Eggs, once a breakfast staple, are suddenly put on trial. Too much cholesterol clogs your arteries, raises your risk of heart attacks. For many of you, that message stuck deeply. You stopped frying eggs in butter. You replaced them with dry toast or cereal. You felt responsible, disciplined, careful. And for years, avoiding eggs felt like the right thing to do. But here's the question no one asked back then. What if the advice was incomplete? As a doctor, I meet seniors every week who say the same thing. Doc, I haven't eaten eggs in 20 years. They're not good for me, right? And when I ask why, the answer is almost always the same. That's what we were told. That belief didn't come from nowhere. Back then, doctors genuinely believed that cholesterol in food directly turned into cholesterol in your blood. Eggs became an easy target. They were affordable, they were common, and yes, they contain cholesterol. So the message was simplified. Cholesterol in food equals cholesterol in your arteries. But the human body is never that simple. Here's the part that often surprises people. Your liver produces most of the cholesterol in your body, not your breakfast. In fact, when you eat cholesterol, your body often adjusts by making less of its own. That science wasn't fully understood decades ago. So an entire generation, your generation, changed their eating habits based on the best knowledge available at the time. This wasn't negligence. It wasn't stupidity. It was limited science. And unfortunately, fear filled the gaps. Over time, that fear grew stronger. Egg yolks were thrown away. Egg white omelets became the safe choice, and many seniors lost something important without realizing it. Not just a food, but a nutritional powerhouse. Eggs contain high-quality protein, essential for muscle. They contain choline, critical for brain health. They contain vitamin D, B12, and nutrients aging bodies desperately need. Yet millions of seniors were unknowingly missing out. Let me tell you about Margaret. Margaret is 72. She grew up on a farm in the Midwest. Eggs were breakfast every morning. But after her husband's heart scare in the 80s, eggs disappeared from their kitchen. Years later, Margaret complained of weakness, low energy, and muscle loss. She was eating healthy, but something was missing. When we reviewed her diet, the pattern was clear. Low protein, low nutrient density, lots of fear-based choices. Eggs were one of the first foods she had eliminated, not because she didn't like them, because she was scared. This is the real problem seniors face today. Not overeating eggs, but undereating nourishing foods due to outdated advice. Fear can quietly reshape your plate, and when you're older, nutrition isn't about trends, it's about strength, balance, memory, and independence. Avoiding a food unnecessarily can slowly take those things away. Now, this does not mean eggs are perfect for everyone in unlimited amounts. That's not the message. The message is this: eggs were blamed before science finished the investigation, and many seniors are still living with that verdict. But modern medicine has learned a lot since then, and what doctors understand today is very different from what was believed 40 years ago. If you've avoided eggs for decades, you're not wrong. You were careful, you listened, you tried to protect your heart. That matters. But what also matters is allowing new information to replace old fear, because nutrition science evolves, and so should our habits. In the next part of this story, we're going to talk about something that may challenge everything you thought you knew. What modern doctors now understand about eggs, cholesterol, and senior health. And more importantly, what happens when seniors safely reintroduce eggs into their diet. If you've ever wondered whether avoiding eggs may have been doing more harm than good, stay with me. This conversation could change how you see breakfast forever. And if this story feels familiar, if it sounds like your experience, consider staying connected. Sometimes the healthiest step forward begins with letting go of an old fear. What if the food you were told to fear was actually one of the foods your aging body needed the most? For many seniors, that idea feels uncomfortable, even risky, because for decades, eggs were painted as the villain. But medicine doesn't stand still, and today, doctors know something very different. Let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever felt weaker than you expected to feel at this age? Less steady on your feet? More forgetful? More tired even though you're eating carefully? You're not alone. And for some seniors, the answer isn't eating less, it's eating smarter. That's where eggs quietly re-enter the story. Over the past 20 years, large, well-designed studies began to ask a question doctors avoided before. Does eating eggs actually raise heart risk? The answer surprised even the medical community. For most people, including older adults, eggs do not significantly raise harmful cholesterol levels. Why? Because your body regulates cholesterol far more intelligently than we once believed. When dietary cholesterol goes up, the liver often compensates by producing less. In simple terms, your body adjusts. This discovery changed everything. But there's something even more important for seniors. As we age, our biggest nutritional threats are not eggs. They are muscle loss, frailty, low protein intake, cognitive decline. And eggs directly address these problems. One large egg contains about 6 grams of complete protein, meaning it has all the essential amino acids your muscles need. For seniors, that's critical. Without enough protein, muscles weaken faster, balance declines, falls become more likely. Eggs are not just food, they are muscle insurance. Let me tell you about George. George is 68, retired, and proud of his discipline. For years, his breakfast was oatmeal and fruit, no eggs, ever. I didn't want to risk my heart, he told me. But George also complained of fatigue and loss of strength. After medical evaluation, his heart was stable, but his protein intake was low. We slowly reintroduced eggs into his diet. 1 egg at first, then 2. Within months, George noticed something subtle but powerful. More energy, better strength, less hunger during the day. Nothing dramatic, just improvement. That's how real health change usually looks. Another major misunderstanding seniors were taught involves cholesterol itself. Not all cholesterol is the same. There's LDL, often called bad cholesterol, and HDL, the protective kind. Eggs tend to raise HDL, which actually removes cholesterol from the bloodstream. That nuance was completely missing from early advice. Fear replaced detail. Eggs also contain choline, a nutrient many seniors lack. Choline supports memory, brain signaling, and liver health. Low choline levels have been linked to cognitive decline, and egg yolks are one of the best natural sources. This is why throwing away the yolk may do more harm than good for older adults. Now, this doesn't mean eggs are magic, and it doesn't mean everyone should eat them without thought. Modern doctors emphasize context. Your overall diet matters, your activity level matters, your medical history matters. Eggs eaten with vegetables, healthy fats, and whole foods behave very differently than eggs paired with processed meats and sugary foods. It's not just what you eat, it's how you eat it. So what do modern doctors generally agree on? For most healthy seniors, eggs can be safely eaten regularly. They support muscle, brain, and energy. They are affordable and easy to prepare. And for many older adults, avoiding eggs entirely may increase nutritional risk. That's a powerful reversal from what you were once told. But there is still one big question left, the one you're probably thinking right now. How many eggs are actually safe for me? Because even good foods can become harmful when misunderstood, and certain seniors do need to be more cautious. In the final part of this story, we'll answer that question clearly. No scare tactics, no exaggeration, just practical, doctor-guided advice tailored for seniors, including the safe daily number, who should limit eggs, the healthiest ways to cook them, and simple habits that help your body use them better. If you've spent years avoiding eggs out of fear, you deserve clarity, not confusion. Stay with me, because understanding how to eat eggs the right way could give you back confidence at the table and strength in daily life. And if this information is helping you rethink old habits, consider staying connected. Good health after 60 isn't about perfection. It's about informed, confident choices, one meal at a time. This is the moment most seniors have been waiting for. After decades of warnings, after years of confusion, the simple question finally deserves a clear answer. How many eggs are actually safe to eat each day? Let's slow down and answer it properly. For most healthy seniors, modern medical guidance is surprisingly reasonable, not extreme, not restrictive, not frightening. For the average older adult without active heart disease, 1 to 2 whole eggs per day is generally considered safe. Yes, whole eggs. That includes the yolk. This amount provides high-quality protein, brain-supporting nutrients, and satiety without overwhelming the body's cholesterol balance. For many seniors, that number fits naturally into breakfast or lunch, and more importantly, it restores confidence. But let's be clear, medicine is never one size fits all. Some seniors do need to be more careful. If you have poorly controlled diabetes, advanced heart disease, very high LDL cholesterol despite medication, then your doctor may recommend moderation, not elimination, but balance. In those cases, eggs may still be included, just not daily. This is about personalization, not fear. Now let's talk about something equally important. How eggs are cooked matters just as much as how many you eat. An egg itself is not the problem. What we add to it often is. Deep frying in processed oils, pairing eggs with bacon, sausages, or white toast every morning, cooking them until they're burnt and dry. Those habits change how your body responds. For seniors, the healthiest methods tend to be boiled, poached, lightly scrambled with minimal oil. These preserve nutrients and reduce inflammation. Simple doesn't mean boring. It means gentle on aging systems. Here's another doctor-approved tip many seniors overlook. Pair eggs with fiber. Vegetables like spinach, tomatoes, mushrooms, or avocado slow digestion and help regulate cholesterol absorption. This combination supports blood sugar control and heart health. An egg with vegetables behaves very differently in your body than an egg with refined carbs. Food works in teams. Digestion also changes with age, so a small habit can make a
Today, we're
big difference.
exploring the incredible
After eating
power of
eggs, take a
neuroplasticity,
5 to
the
10
brain's
minute gentle
amazing
walk.
ability to
Nothing
reorganize
intense,
itself.
just
This isn't
movement.
just about
This
learning new
helps with
things.
digestion,
It's about
blood
physically
sugar balance,
rewiring
and
connections
circulation.
based on
It's
experiences
one of the
and
simplest
thoughts.
exercises for
Understanding this
seniors and
empowers
one
us to
of the
shape
most
our minds for
effective.
growth and resilience.
Let's talk about portion anxiety. Some seniors worry, if one egg is good, are 3 better? Not necessarily. Beyond 2 eggs daily, benefits often plateau, especially if protein intake is already sufficient. Health isn't about pushing limits, it's about consistency. For many seniors, eggs 4 to 6 days per week is a comfortable, sustainable pattern, and that's perfectly okay. One more important point. Eggs are not meant to replace all other proteins. They are part of a rotation. Fish, beans, lean meats, dairy if tolerated. Variety protects your gut and your nutrient balance. Eggs are supportive, not dominant. If there's one message doctors want seniors to hear, it's this. You don't need to be afraid of eggs anymore, but you also don't need to overdo them. Confidence lives in the middle. So let's summarize what truly matters. For most healthy seniors, 1 to 2 eggs per day is safe. Whole eggs are nutritionally valuable. Cooking method and food pairing matter. Certain medical conditions require moderation, not avoidance. Gentle movement after meals improves benefits. This isn't permission to ignore your health. It's permission to stop fearing a food that may actually support it. If eggs were taken off your plate years ago because of fear, you're allowed to reconsider. Science has evolved, and so can you. If this series helped bring clarity where there was confusion, consider staying connected and sharing it with someone you care about. Because good health after 60 isn't about rules from the past, it's about informed choices today, made calmly, confidently, and without fear.